The following is a presentation of WCMP Sports, local sports.
Past the 25, to the 20, to the 15, he's gonna high step into the end zone, touchdown!
Here, wide receivers split each side.
He's still going into the end zone.
East Central Minnesota, the action starts now. To bring you the call, here's Ethan Game Day Gilman.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back inside Pine City High School for tonight's boys basketball matchup. It's a Great River Conference matchup here between the Pine City Dragons, who host the Mille Raiders tonight. Again, it's a Great River Conference matchup. One of the final two for Pine City on the season. Of course, they'll get one more tomorrow night, but this is one of the final ones of the season here for Pine City and for Mille. This will be a very interesting game. Now, this will be the last conference game, is what I was meaning to say. Conference game for the Mille Raiders. Now, interestingly enough, a lot of teams don't have too many games. Mille, they're kind of an outlier with that. After this game, they have 3 more games. They have Friday, where they will host Northland, and then next Monday, they will host McGregor before finishing it up next Friday at Sabika. So the Raiders are one of the few teams in the state where they will go through all of next week before wrapping up their regular season. Not many teams do. In fact, I know one team that we'll be having on our airwaves here tonight is done. This is their final regular season game of the year, and that's it. They're done. That team being the Hinckley-Finlayson Jaguars. And I want to thank Adam Hefty, both Andy Beckstrom and Adam Hefty, but Adam Hefty is on that call for tonight's game up at Hinckley-Finlayson, where they are hosting the Bram Bombers. But yeah, that's for Hinckley-Finlayson, that's their regular season finale. Now, plus for them, they get to finish at home, but they do get a good rest, and sometimes that can be good and bad for a team. Sometimes they get that rest, and it might not be good, but for some teams, that's exactly what they need because of injuries or illnesses or anything else, etc., that they need to work out. So for Hinckley-Finlayson, that will wrap up their regular season, and they'll wait till next week, or not, the week after, for boys basketball playoffs to start. But for most of our local area teams, they will have 1 or 2 more games on the season, a lot of them happening next week, of course. But for Pine City, they will have one tonight, tomorrow, and then next week on the road against St. Francis. But for these two teams here tonight, both of them looking for a conference win in the Great River Conference. And both teams haven't had the year that they would have liked, but I think there's still plenty to look at with both of these teams. For the Mille Raiders, of course, they're coming into tonight's game 2-20, scoring about 44 points per game, giving up about 62 points per game. They're 0-10 in Section 5A East. Now, Section 5A is split up into 2 parts, East and the West. And Mille, along with a couple of our other local teams, Ogilvie and Bram and East Central, also play in Section 5A East too. So we've got a little bit of, the East is kind of ruled by our local teams, really. But this Mille Raiders team is interesting. And I say that because they played a game not too long ago where they played against Ogilvie. And a game I think they felt like they should have won. In the first half, they were playing the type of basketball where I thought had they continued with what they were rolling with, or been able just to kind of keep up their offensive prowess in the first half that they had into the second, I thought that maybe they could have came out of there with the win. But for Ogilvie, they just did a really good job getting on their roll offensively and getting shots to fall from outside. And then, well, really all they had to do was kind of settle into things and pull away in that one. So, but for Mille, again, they only allow 62 points per game. Now, that is still relatively high, but if you look at it around the state in Class Single A, it's really not. That's about middle of the road for defenses, actually. Because when you look at the rest of the class, well, there's a lot of teams well over 60 points that they're allowing. There are plenty of teams allowing over 65, 70, and even 80 points. So for Mille Lacs, their defense statewide in Class A is actually pretty darn good. Now, I know for a lot of teams, you look at 62 points per game, you're like, we want to get that down around 55. That would be ideal. But 62 points per game allowed for this Mille Lacs Raiders team, I mean, that's pretty ideal, actually. That puts them right middle of the pack in all of Class Single A. And I think that's a good spot for Mille Lacs to be, because when you look at this team, now their offense does need a little bit of help, but when we're looking at this team for the Mille Lacs Raiders, they do have a good chunk of seniors here this year who unfortunately will be leaving next year, but they also do have a good chunk of young men who are juniors, sophomores, freshmen that will be returning next year, and I think this team next year is going to be a team that teams have to watch out for. Now, again, they are going to lose some senior leadership in Eric Peterson, Thomas Schleiss, Matt Larson, Gabe Gabot, along with Julian Tompkins, Noah Honick, and Ryan Smith. And those are some pretty good players that they're going to have leave them next year. Wesley Gabot, Ryan Smith is one of them, and he's one of their big guys inside. He's kind of that post player. Now, he can get it done outside, but he's more known as being the post player underneath the basket, kind of that bigger presence underneath. But another guy that I look at as a little bit of a post player is only a sophomore, and that's 23, Eric Harrington. And I think he's a really good post player as well, and I think he can get it done too. That's another guy who I think will come in for Ryan Smith and maybe not necessarily take his place, but step into his shoes. But again, Eric Peterson, Thomas Schleiss, those two guys are kind of their players on the outside. They do a really good job shooting the ball from long range, and that's kind of who they count on to get it done outside. But you do have other players that they've shown can get it done from the outside as well. It's just about kind of learning the system, falling into that foundation, and then learning that foundation and perfecting it. And that's, I think, where Mille Lacs is at this point in its program. I think they're a team that is kind of sneaky good. I don't think they would like to be called sneaky good, but I think they are. I think they are kind of a sneaky good team, to where I think if they are able to hold some teams around that 50-point mark, I think they have a chance to get a few wins here. Now, it's going to be tough to get any playoff wins. They will, at this point, be playing East Central on the road for their first playoff game of the playoffs. And East Central right now is having a phenomenal season, 17-6, 6-0 in section play, and ranked number 1 in the section. So they're also a top 25 team in the state, which is pretty darn good. So for anybody who tries to play East Central, that's a tough outlook. But again, Mille Lacs, I think they've got the defense to do it. I think they've got the team to where if they could go in and again hold teams around that 50-point mark, I think the threshold sits at 55, because then you run into the offense is going to get hot at some point. But I think if they can hold teams around that 50-point mark, they would have a chance in their last few games and in the playoffs. Their 2 wins come against Floodwood and Floodwood. They beat Floodwood twice this year, once by 75 points. They won in a Aiken tournament against Floodwood 86-11, which obviously that 86 was a season high for the Raiders. Then they only beat them later on in the season by 20, 53-33, but it is still a victory nonetheless. Now again, I was able to call the matinee game in which they played against Ogilvie just a couple weeks ago. I love those matinee games. Those two teams have always had a matinee game, whether it's fall or winter sports. They always have a matinee game that's around 1 o'clock, and I love that because then you get the entire student body there for those games, and that one was fun. Ogilvie got out on top early, but Mille Lacs came back and actually had a lead at halftime, in which Ogilvie was able to turn that around and take over the lead after the half and kind of get their offense running and pulled away to win 57-48. Mille Lacs did get a buzzer beater 3, which, again, it didn't make a difference on the outcome of the game, but they were able to add 3 more points onto that score to make it a single-digit deficit instead of a double-digit deficit for themselves. But again, that was a game in which I thought, man, if they didn't have to go into that halftime break, I think they might have started to pull away because their offense was looking smooth, and it didn't look like anything was going to really slow them down. And I thought, man, if Mille Lacs could have just stayed out on the court for a little bit longer, I thought they might have been able to come away with that one. But since that game, they've lost to Uppsala and Cromwell Wright, 2 very, very good teams in Section 5A and 7A, but in Class Single A. They come here to Pine City. Now, they have lost to Pine City. They lost to Pine City at home 63-53, and that's a close game. Now, it's a double-digit loss, but I think for Mille Lacs, I think that's still an okay spot for them. You know, you come here on the road looking to avenge that loss from earlier in the season, and I think you say to yourselves, hey, you know, no better time than now to get our last conference win of the season. Why not? Why not get it upset on the road over Pine City, who has had our number the last few years, but, you know, what better night than tonight to go and get some revenge from your loss earlier in the year. Of course, after tonight, as I mentioned, they will have 3 more games. Friday at home against Northland, and then next Monday at home against McGregor before finishing it off next Friday at Sabika, which is a section game as well. And again, looking at the section itself, East Central on top of the section in that number 1 spot. They'll more than likely have the number 1 seed as we look towards the playoffs. But for East Central and right below them in 5 Single A East is Uppsala, then Bram, then Pack Charter in the 4 spot, Ogilvie in the 5 spot currently, and Swanville in the 6. So looking at the playoffs for Section 5A East, they begin Monday, March 4th. So not next week, but the week after that. So a week from next Monday, exactly a week from next Monday, they will start section playoffs for themselves. We're going to take you know what, actually we'll keep it here, I think. We'll keep it here and talk about Pine City as they're 4-19 on the year, 55 points per game. They're scoring, but they have one of the toughest defenses in that they allow some of the most points per game defensively at 76.7, and they're 0-4 in section play. So it's been a tough go defensively here for Pine City this season, but again, they have also been able to show that they can score the points that they need to win higher scoring games. They've had a few games where they've scored 80 and 70 plus points. Now again, this team is not used to scoring under 60 points per game. This is an offense where they're used to scoring about 70 points per game year in and year out. This is a different kind of year for them. And they're slowly building back that foundation that they once had, and slowly getting it back to what they want to see, both offensively and defensively, and it's slowly starting to turn. Now, they did lose on Tuesday to Malacca 75-57, but that was after a win last Friday over Proctor 73-59. So, again, for Pine City, it's a brand new starting 5 this year. The only young man with starting varsity experience on the squad is Charlie Osmus. That is the only one. The other guys have subbed in here at the end of games, you know, with only a few minutes to go and the game is, you know, out of hand or, you know, in hand. But that is it for starting experience for this squad up to this season. Now, obviously, that changes with the guys on the squad this year as they have played throughout the entirety of this season. But going into the season, that was it for starter experience. So they didn't have a ton of starting experience coming into this season. It was very interesting to see. But they've done a good job continuing to grow, continuing to develop. And again, it's been said time in and time out, it's a building year. It's a building year for this team. They're building back to what their foundation is. In the words of head coach Kyle Allen, they're building back their foundation, and they're hoping that they can get it sooner than later. Of course, he credits Matt Blake for that a ton. They'll have Rush City here tomorrow before finishing up their season next Thursday at St. Francis. So we're going to take a commercial break. Hear a word from our fine sponsors. When we come back, we'll have tip-off here in Pine City for this Great River Conference matchup You're listening to Boys
Arrowhead
Basketball on
Transit plays a
WCMP.
pivotal role in bolstering the communities it serves. By providing accessible and reliable transportation, they ensure essential travel for work, education, and healthcare. Arrowhead Transit is customer-centric, continuously evolving to meet the needs of the community with initiatives like community outreach programs, job fairs, and educational workshops and more. Arrowhead Transit is more than just a transportation service. It is a vital part of the communities it supports. Your connection, your community. Arrowhead Transit, your ride.
Untangling your headphones, finding the right remote, saying goodbye to your favorite shirt that hasn't fit in 10 years. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with Auto Owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. Auto Owners works with independent agents who live in your community and answer when you call, so you can worry about more important things, like finding a new favorite shirt. That's simple human sense.
Contact your local Auto Owners agency, Pine Insurance Agency at pineagency.us today.
Free college is possible at Pine Technical and Community College. Students of all ages may be eligible for a tuition and fee-free pathway to education thanks to the new North Star Promise Scholarship. If you're a resident of Minnesota and have a family-adjusted gross income of $80,000 or less, apply online today for free and join us in high-demand programs such as nursing, gunsmithing, machining, automated systems, cybersecurity, early childhood education, liberal arts, and more. Whether you're starting out or starting over, learn more at pine.edu.
The saga continues. We now know with certainty that Kidney Stone will return for Season 5, Part 2, its final episodes, in November 2024. The same love story.
No one messes with my girl.
Oh, Bip, I love you.
Trying to save the ranch.
It's got the best pull shed in Kanabec County.
And of course,
this week, grab your tickets to the new Wrangler Stampede Rodeo. 3 options to choose from. Or you're going to the train station.
Let's take them to the train station.
WCMPradio.com/deals. WCMPradio.com/deals. Save now, but wait to watch what used to be your favorite show and everybody was talking about it. Now it's kind of lost its momentum.
Are you looking for a position where your role impacts the community around you? Then look no further than Burnett Dairy Cooperative in Grantsburg, Wisconsin. Owned by the farmers in your community, Burnett Dairy offers numerous career options with various responsibilities and growth opportunities. Positions such as CDL drivers, who work closely with our farmers, cheese production, creating award-winning cheeses, and retail store clerks making someone's day better. Visit BurnettDairy.com and click on Careers to join our herd.
Back here on 106.5 FM, AM 1350, WCMP. Taking a look at your starters here tonight for the Mille Lacs Raiders, who are head coached by Jason Runyon. It'll be number 0, Eric Peterson, number 1, Thomas Schleiss, 22, Gabe Honick, 24, Josiah Mueller, and number 40, Wesley Gabo. Starters for the Pine City Dragons, head coached by Kyle Allen. It'll be number 1, Sawyer McDaniel, number 4, Charlie Osmus, number 10, Ryer Willert, number 12, AJ Austinson, and 24, Matt Blake. The Mille Lacs Raiders will be wearing their white away uniforms, their white visitor uniforms. The red letters and numbers outlined in that yellow color. The cursive Raiders across the chest. And then the yellow striping, one stripe in the middle between 2 red stripes on the neck, shoulders, and bottom of the shorts. For the Pine City Dragons, it's the green home uniforms. White numbers and letters outlined in black. The white stripe down the side of the jersey and short, and the lone black stripe on the outside of the white stripe. And we are just about set to go here in this one. 18 minutes are up on that Embrace Orthodontics scoreboard. Embrace Orthodontics, custom light force braces or Invisalign clear aligners with 3 locations in Pine City, Lindstrom, and Cambridge. This game being broadcast on 106.5 FM, AM 1350. Live with video on our website at WCMPradio.com. Don't forget, over on 100.9 FM, it'll be Hinkley Finlayson hosting Bram. Adam Hefty on that call. Sawyer McDaniel and Wesley Gabo getting set for the tip here. They will battle for the first possession of the game. And the tip is won by Gabo. And the Raiders have it to start with. Josiah Mueller, pretty good shooter from outside. He'll give it off to Honick. Honick now to Schleiss, trying to go inside. Matt Blake, an early turnover, or an early steal, I should say. He gets the turnover, creates it. And now an early three from Charlie Osmus from three. Now, I've talked to Osmus plenty of times here throughout the season, throughout last year, and just seems like this young man's confidence continues to grow. And now we get a travel call here on the Raiders on that far side as they try to get it up the court, and it'll be a turnover. And now checking into the game for the first time for the Raiders, it's going to be number 34. That's Ryan Smith. He's got some good size to him. They like him in the game. And another three from Charlie Osmus. He says, hey, I like the way I shot that first one. Give me another chance. So 2 threes right away. And the Dragons lead 6-0 early. And I mean early. But back with it are the Raiders. Schleiss has it, trying to get around the defense. He'll put up a shot towards the basket. It's no good. Gets his own rebound. And as he went to the basket, he was fouled after the rebound, and he'll go to line and shoot 2. First foul here on Pine City is going to go against Charlie Osmus, so saying his name a lot here early on. Schleiss' first one is up and good. Second one is up and good as well. Thomas Schleiss good on both. And back the other way come the Dragons. Willert with it. Looks, found a lane, then that lane closes quickly. Top of the key, Osmus again. 3 for 3! 9-2, and Osmus on a hot streak early. Thomas Schleiss with the ball for the Raiders now. Gives it far side to Ryan Smith. Ryan Smith looking, trying to get around the defender. Good defense, though. He gives it off to Mueller. Mueller on the far side. Nearly had it swatted away by Willard. He gives it back to Peterson. Eric Peterson will look top of the key. Thomas Schleiss. He's closed upon quickly. Now he'll drive inside. A little floater off the backboard and in for 2 from Schleiss. Nice little looking hesitation move to get that one to fall. Back the other way. Austinson to McDaniel. McDaniel thought about 3 to Willard for 3. That's going to be off the mark. Rebounded. Oh, Matt Blake's going to grab the rebound. Gets to Sawyer McDaniel for 2. Matt Blake ripped it away from Wesley Gabot. And then it slid through his hands right to McDaniel. And he put it back for 2. Peterson on the near side. Now to Schleiss. Schleiss trying to go inside to Gabot. It's stolen away by Briar Willert. And he's going to take it the distance. Drops it in for 2. Briar Willert. And it's 13-4 early on. The Dragons with a 9-point lead. Bench is on their feet quickly out of this timeout. It's a timeout by the Raiders. It will be the shorter variety of 30 seconds, but still gives us a chance to take a look at that Embrace Orthodontic scoreboard where the Dragons lead by 9. Their doctors are committed to providing world-class orthodontic care in a friendly and comfortable atmosphere. That's EmbraceMN.com. And an early lead here for the Dragons. And they won the first meeting against the Raiders by 10. They're hoping that this can just continue throughout the first half and into the second. Mueller will get the inbound and bring it up the court for the Raiders. He drifts to the far side, trying to get around Osmus. Top of the key now to Peterson. Peterson has hit from long, so don't be surprised if he's got a little opening like he did just there, that it's going to be that he won't take that 3. Now another steal here for Matt Blake as that ball hit the side of the rim, I believe, as it was, he tried to pass it, so I guess it technically would be a rebound. 3 there from Austinson is no good, and Matt Blake gets the rebound and drops it in for 2. Another 2 there, and that one comes from the senior, the lone senior, Matt Blake. Again, Peterson left alone out there. He had some space, about a foot of space. Again, I wouldn't be surprised if next time he tries to take that one. Briar Willert now with a turnover, a steal, and back the other way, it's Austinson for 2. Willert the steal, that creates 5 turnovers now for the Raiders, 17-4. Peterson gives it Schleiss, top of the key. Far side now to Mueller. Mueller wanted to go inside to Smith, but he was guarded well. Now gives it to Peterson, now to Gabeau. Gabeau, a pretty tall guy, trying to drive inside. Nice move to get inside, but just couldn't deliver, and it's rebounded by Sawyer McDaniel. Up the court quickly, found Austinson underneath the basket, wide open, and he drops it in for 2. 19-4. We just didn't see this type of play, this fast-paced offense that ran so smooth, the transition offense from defense to offense, the fast break opportunities, the points, the steals. We just didn't see this offense from Pine City early in the season, and now we do is Matt Blake gets another steal. Matt Blake having himself a night defensively already. Shot there, no good. Rebounded by Charlie Osmus. Top of the key for 3. That's A.J. Austinson. And another timeout here by the Raiders. 22-4. The Dragons up and down the court quickly. And right now the Raiders just don't have a way to stop it. They're going to take a timeout. It'll be a full timeout.
All right, settle down. Let's call the meeting of people that complain about everything all the time and never do anything about it to order. Any complaints?
Yeah, my heating bill's too high.
Oh, yeah? Well, Bobby just bought an outdoor furnace from Central Boiler, and he eliminated his heating bill.
What about the hot water?
He eliminated that heating bill, too.
What about his shop?
He heats that, too.
I have no more complaints.
I think Central Boiler offers a solution to our complaints.
Save money on your cooling and heating bills. Visit northlandboilersales.com, your local Central Boiler sales dealer.
A duo that is perfect together. That's Dale's Heating and Appliance and Lennox. Dale's is your local Lennox dealer that's committed to making your family's comfort their top priority. With a wide assortment of options, Dale's will ensure your home's air is top quality. Call Dale's today or visit them at dalesheatingandappliance.com and ask how you can save on your next AC unit. Lennox and Dale's, the perfect duo. Dealer number E06356.
Back out of the timeout, a 3 here from Mueller is going to be no good, and somehow Wesley Gabeau comes up with the rebound and puts it back in for 2. Wesley Gabeau would not be denied on the rebound, as we have a new player in for the Dragons. It's number 3, Grant Larson. Oh, the Raiders go with a little bit different looking defense as Larson will look for his first 3 of the night. It's no good. Rebounded by McDaniel. Osmus, not able to go 4 for 4 as Willert will get the rebound. He might have gotten pushed there. They didn't get the call, but McDaniel gets it now to Osmus on the far side. That one's going to come up short. And after making his first 2, he misses the next 2, or 3 actually. Now Willert with the rebound. Grant Larson gets it over to Blake. Now on the far side for McDaniel. A little bit line drive of a 3 is going to be no good, and Mueller will get the rebound for the Raiders. 22-6. You can see that pace by the Dragons. They're still keeping it up. A 3 here from Peterson is no good, and Grant Larson going to pick up the rebound. Grant Larson has it. He'll give it off to Willert. That 3 from Peterson should have went through, but it rattled out. Willert gets the ball on the far side. He's left alone, and that one's good. Briar Willert delivers on the 3. And again, this is just so, we just didn't see this early on from Pine City. It is so nice to see that they're able to get back to the offense that they're used to having. Honeck with it now for the Raiders. Gives it off to Schleiss on the near side corner. He was left alone. I think next time he'll take that 3. Honeck, he was left alone from 3, but he decided to pull it down. Now he'll drive inside. Shot is up, no good. Willert going to grab another rebound. Willert up the court. He'll drift right down the center of it and pull up and wait for the offense to catch up. Gives it off to Osmus on the far side. Now to Larson. Willert back with it on the near side elbow. That's going to be no good. And Wesley Gabeau nearly got it, but as he was pulling it in, stepped out of bounds. We'll get a big substitution here for Pine City. Let me look here. It's going to be Jace Peterson along with Eli Fromm and Austin Wiener. So as I get these written down, they're back to action. Pine City doing a good job of passing the ball around, just trying to not force anything, just trying to get a shot open. Larson gets it from Wiener for 3. That's no good. Shot clock went off, but it was still alive as the shot was off before, and then that ball is going to be knocked out of bounds by a member of the Raiders. Battling down there for it were a bunch of players, but they say the Raiders were the last to touch it. So those were the subs for the Raiders as we inbound here to Jace Peterson, now over to Os Wiener in the near side corner for Larson. Larson will bring it back to the top of the key. Gabe Gabot, as well as Eric Harrington check in. A 3 is no good there from Pine City. Rebounded by Austin Wiener, and he puts it back in for 2. So again, Gabe Gabot and Eric Harrington check in for the Raiders. And Ryan Smith had it on the baseline. He was guarded well by the Pine City defender. He just kind of had no avenue to go with it, and he wound up stepping on the baseline, and unfortunately that'll be another turnover, and it will go back to the Dragons. Up the court come the Dragons. Larson with it. Now on the near side to Austinson, and A.J. Austinson smooth through. It barely made the nylon move on that one. 30-6, Dragons with the lead. 10:30 left here in the first half. With it on the near side now, Ryan Smith tried to give it inside. That ball's up for grabs, and Austin Wiener will get credit for the steal there. He nearly traveled. A 3 here from Austinson's no good, and it's going to be rebounded by Ryan Smith. They'll give it off now to Honick. Honick up the court, trying to get around Grant Larson. He gives it off to Harrington. Harrington lost it, and it was knocked out of bounds, out of the hands of Gabe Gabot. They're going to say the Dragons touched it last. Kyle Allen trying to argue that, hey, they touched it last, but I think Gabot let it go knowing that, hey, they had their hands on it last. Inbound here to Mueller, now over to Harrington. Back to Mueller, now on the far side for Gabot. That's Gabe Gabot for 3. A good-looking shot, but it's no good. Knocked out of bounds by the Dragons' Austin Wiener. Ryan Smith pulled his hands back, saying, no, I didn't do it. So the Raiders will get it back, 30-6. Under 10 minutes to go in the first half. Mueller will look to inbound. He does on the near side for 3 there from Gabe Honick. A smooth-looking shot that time. And he gets a 3 on the board. But quickly up the court come the Dragons. They're trying to go inside, and that's going to be the first turnover for Pine City. Stolen away by Eric Harrington. And they'll have it back. Honick gives it off near side to Gabot. Stolen away by Jace Peterson. He'll take it. Fast break opportunity not there. And then the Raiders get it back. A 3 here from Mueller's no good. Rebound still up for grabs. Oh, it's all over the place. Off of a foot, off a thigh, and it winds up in the hands of the Raiders because of Ryan Smith. Give him credit on that one. And then Eric Harrington hits it from long range to make it 30-12. Man, oh man, that was just simply a hustle play by the Raiders. Ryan Smith, give him credit on that one. Pine City will slow things down a little bit. Wiener will look. He'll give it far side. A.J. Austinson left alone for 3. 33-12. Another long-range shot by Pine City is absolutely drilled. But, Pine City, they hit these threes, especially if you're going to leave them alone like that. Harrington has it on the far side, guarded by Fromm. Now he gives it off to Gabot. That's Gabe Gabot. And Gabe Gabot lost it, stolen away by A.J. Austinson. Austinson, he's fouled as he tried to drive inside. That's 10 turnovers now by the Raiders. That's going to go against Gabe Gabot, the first foul for the Raiders. 8:18 to go on that Embrace Orthodontics scoreboard. They'll leave you with a smile you'll embrace forever. And now Austinson at the line for 2. First one is up and good. From A.J. Austinson. And that one's no good. Ossenson hits one of two, and then it was rebounded by Thomas Schleiss. On the far side, Peterson has it, gives it back to Honeck. Honeck inside, gives out near side to Schleiss. Oh, they're going to get, I think they said green 3. So that would be Grant Larson, who's going to pick up the foul for Pine City. It'll be his second, or his first, team's second. So they'll just inbound will the Raiders, and Eric Peterson for 3. That's off the mark, but wow, Honeck went up for that rebound, and then Eli Fromm just absolutely rips it away, says, mine, thank you very much. Fromm gives it on the far side, elbow for 3 from Ossenson, and then it's rebounded off the miss by Thomas Schleiss for the Raiders. Schleiss will bring it up the court. It got away with the travel there, but then gives it off far side to Peterson for 3. Oh, Peterson trying to get going, and he just can't. And this ball is going to wind up in the hands of Larson for the rebound. They get a double dribble called here on Grant Larson. Larson a little bit surprised that he got that call, but he goes back, and checking into the game now for the Dragons is 31, Daniel Milliman. And Milliman, again, a really good change of pace player because he is so fast. And now a shot from Honeck as he makes the defender miss. It's no good. Sawyer McDaniel with the rebound. Up the court, McDaniel goes. He's showing off the speed. Got a little too much on that one, and it's no good. Rebounded by Gabe Honeck. He got the nifty Euro step move, and then could get it to fall. And now Thomas Schleiss, he loses it. And going after it is Daniel Milliman. He knocks it out. Schleiss is going to knock it actually out of bounds, and that'll give it back to the Dragons. Daniel Milliman creating a turnover there. And Milliman has it. Gets around one defender. Backs it out. Osmus for 3. That's his 4th. Oh, my goodness. I'm not laughing. It's just 4 threes. My goodness, that is awesome. Not very often you see a young man have 4 threes out of what? 6, 7 shots? I think he's only missed 2, so yeah, 4 for 6 on the threes tonight. Just incredible. This ball is going to be knocked out of bounds by a member of the Dragons, so it will stay with the Raiders. We did get a whistle there because a member of the Raiders had a shoelace undone, and again, those laces can be absolutely, they can be a mess if they're left unattended to and not tied, because you step on one of those on the floor, and that's going to hurt. So get that taken care of, and now underneath Ryan Smith, he lost it, but it was knocked out by a member of the Dragons, and he taps his chest, looks at his teammate, and says, hey, that's my bad. But the Raiders do hold on as it was knocked out by a member of the Dragons. We had a whistle there for a moment as Ryan Smith gets it inbounded to him, and he'll drop it in for 2. Just kind of went up over everybody and used those long arms to drop it in for 2. Now Milliman showing off the speed. Driving inside, gives it to Willard. Willard slips, gives it to McDaniel. McDaniel a little long on that one, and it's rebounded by Eric Peterson. He gives it to Schleiss. Schleiss on the far side. Gives it now to Honeck. Honeck looking, trying to find somewhere. Drifts into the near side corner, nearly stolen, but Peterson brings it down. Trying to give it to Ryan Smith, and it's stolen away by Matt Blake. That's 4 steals for Matt Blake this evening already. McDaniel drives inside to Milliman. Top of the key, left alone. Briar Willard for 3. That's off the mark, and not quite knocked out of bounds, but it should have been. It should have been Raiders' ball, and they couldn't hold on to it. And now off this one, Matt Blake trying to get the rebound, but could not keep this one in play, and that will go back to the Raiders. Ryan Smith getting a well-deserved break. He has been everywhere, as has Wesley Gabot. Both those guys getting a much-deserved break. This one inbounded to Schleiss, and Milliman right there poking it out. He'll force them to inbound once again. 37-14 is the score on our Embrace Orthodontics scoreboard. Embrace Orthodontics, your customized smile journey starts with a free consultation. The team at Embrace wants to make your journey as seamless and convenient as possible. Custom Light Force braces or Invisalign clear liners. Find out more at embracemn.com. 37-14. Honeck going to get called for the travel. And travel is a turnover, so they now sit at 14 in the first half. Willert will inbound to McDaniel, and McDaniel will bring it up the court now into the front court looking, staring at the defenders. Instead, he's going to find a lane and drive to the basket and drop it in for two. Again, he's got that length and that wiggle to him, and he just gets through defenders. He's so smooth with it, too, and I think that's what's key. Honick with it, bothered by two Dragon defenders, now gives it to Schleiss. Schleiss wanted to go to Honick. Instead, a bad pass, trying to go inside, and Matt Blake right there for the steal. And McDaniel again drives inside. A short two, no good, but he'll go to the line and shoot two now. And we get a foul called on the Raiders. That's going to be their team's second and the first on Eric Harrington. 5:07 to go. McDaniel at the line for two. Gets that one to roll in off the front of the rim to make it 40-14. That one's going to come up short off the front of the rim. So 1 of 2 there, and it was rebounded by Eric Peterson. Now with it is Josiah Mueller. He had it poked out by Willert, and Willert can't quite keep it alive. It's going to go off a foot out of bounds back to the Raiders. So Willert nearly with another steal. But it goes off of his foot. Inbound here to Honick, and Honick has to slow it down as that one kind of... It looked like it was going to go in front of him way farther than it did, but it didn't. And now another steal for Mr. Matt Blake. Willard inside, backs it out to McDaniel. McDaniel gives it inside to a slashing Osmus, and that one is no good as trying to get the rebound was Eric Harrington, but he was fouled by Matt Blake. So Matt Blake will pick up his first and the team's third. Inbound here to Honick. Honick does just pull it in with one hand. Now he's double teamed, gives it near side corner. Harrington for three. It's good. Eric Harrington for three. His second on the night. It's a good looking shot too. Milliman quickly up the court to McDaniel. McDaniel fakes the shot, spins his move inside. Shot is up, no good. It's off the mark, rebounded by Honick. That one was a little chaotic and thought he could have passed it back outside. Thought he had an open guy, but he found the lane and just wanted to deliver. Harrington left alone again for three. That one's going to come up short, though, and the rebound picked up by Briar Willert. Willert up the court. He waits for the offense to catch up. Gives it off on the far side to Osmus. Osmus is going to drive inside. Top of the key, left alone. Willert for three. That's off the mark, a little too strong on that one. And getting the rebound is Eric Harrington. That's one where Willert, you can be too open sometimes, but I think on some of those, you got to take a second just to take another step and breathe, because that's one where it's like, man, you're so wide open. Just give yourself another chance to look at the basket, breathe, because no one was actually coming towards him. They were all occupied with other Pine City offensive players. I don't like saying offenders because that sounds wrong, but technically they are. They're just not the offenders as in breaking the law. I don't know. We'll call them offensive players just to keep it simple. So the Raiders do have it, left alone. Honick, but quickly guarded. And now this pass is inside, and it's tipped and stolen away by Austin Wiener. Jace Peterson trying to drive inside, and he's going to drop it in for two. He's a very strong player, and he can really deliver. Got about 4 of the 5 players near that half-court line, and it's stolen away by Eli Fromm, his second, and he gets a friendly drop as it's in for two. That one bounced around a little bit, but he got it to drop. 3 minutes left now in the first half. Schleiss has it from Honick, now in the far side corner to Harrington. Back over to Honick, near side for Peterson. Peterson trying to go baseline, and unfortunately the pass hits on the baseline, and it will go back to the Dragons. Another turnover here, and they're just one under 20 for the first half. 44-17 with just over 2.5 minutes to go in the first half. Dragons with the lead. Larson into the near side corner. Peterson for three, and it's good. That's Jace Peterson for three. And we get 47-17. British Orthodontics will do all the insurance heavy lifting for you. If you don't have insurance, ask about financing options. You'll find Plan to fit your budget at EmbraceCement.com. A 3 here by Gabe Gabot to make it 47-20. Grant Larson looking, trying to find an avenue to go with it. He gives it off to Austinson. Austinson now trying to drive inside. He has nowhere to go, gives it back outside to Larson. Larson, he'll drift, gives it off far side to Austinson. He looked into the corner for Peterson, and he lost it off his own dribble, stolen away by Thomas Schleiss. He'll create a turnover there, and over to Peterson. Peterson back to Gabot, now to Schleiss. Schleiss inside, nearly lost it himself. He found Wesley Gabot, though, open for 2. Oh, and a little too strong on it. Gabot could not get it to fall as it was a little too strong, and Fromm going to get the rebound. Austinson on the far side. Getting a screen from Fromm. Now over to Larson in the far side, near side corner, to Jace Peterson. Now back to Austinson on the far side. Under a minute and a half to go. Austinson to Larson. Larson looks for a screen from Wiener. Now he gives it off far side to Austinson. That's a long 3, nearly, I think that's college range, and it's no good. Wesley Gabot is going to pick up the rebound. Eric Peterson has it, gives it over to Schleiss. Schleiss now looking, gives it back to Harrington. Harrington picks it up. He gives it back to Schleiss. Now over to Gabe Gabot, far side 3. Oh, just off the mark, and Austin Wiener going to pick up the rebound. Jace Peterson, he brings it forward. And they're going to get him for a carry. 47-20, under a minute to go. The Dragons with the 27-point lead. So here come the Raiders with it. And that one knocked out of bounds by a member of the Dragons, so the Raiders will hold on to it. Inbound here to Schleiss, now over to Peterson. Now top of the key for Gabe Gabot to Harrington, and it's just behind Harrington. So that ball will go back to the Dragons. That's 20 turnovers in this first half for Mille Lacs. Try to get an update on that girls basketball game as they're up in Proctor tonight. A.J. Austinson with a 3 there is no good. Jace Peterson, late whistle, and yeah, he dealt with a lot of contact inside. Late whistle, he's going to go to the line and shoot 2. That's the third team foul on Mille Lacs and the first on Wesley Gabot. So Jace Peterson at the line for 2, and you have 26 seconds left here in the first half. No good on the first from Jace Peterson. This one up and rattles home. So he's 1 for 2 on that trip. 48-20 with 25 seconds to go. Here come the Raiders. Thomas Schleiss trying to get past that timeline. He does. Gives it to Gabe Gabot. Now to Harrington on the far side. Going inside to Wesley Gabot, and Wesley Gabot drops it in for 2. That was a tough pass, but Wesley Gabot pulled it in. Now the Dragons trying to score 50 and a half. Austinson, we'll see if they actually try to. That shot is up, no good, and getting the rebound for the Raiders is Eric Harrington, and just not enough time left there, and he's upset with himself as he didn't realize there was not as much time as he thought. Otherwise, he probably would have shot it from a little bit farther out. But at halftime, your Dragons on top of the Mille Lacs Raiders, 48-22. We're going to take a commercial break here. Word from our fine sponsors, and then when we come back, we'll recap the first half of action. You're listening to boys basketball, Great River Conference basketball here.
Experience our most popular sawmill, the Big Red XP. This Canadian-built mill proudly sits on an entirely welded 24-foot jointless frame. Accepting a diameter of 32 inches, this portable sawmill can saw logs up to 21 feet long or work with 2 10-foot logs at the same time. Includes an electric head position and automatic headlock. Powered by the renowned and proven Honda 20-horsepower version, the Big Red XP comes equipped with all the equipment needed. The Big Red XP is available only at Stan's Equipment Center in Pine City.
Wellia Health is here to keep you feeling your best so you can enjoy all the things you love best. You can count on us for your eye exams, mental health services, rehabilitation, wellness exams, urgent care, and much more. At Wellia Health, our goal is to help you live life well. Let Wellia Health help you get back to your best. Give us a call today to set up an appointment. 320-679-1313. WelliaHealth.org.
Your journey to smile with your forever starts at Embrace Orthodontics. The team at Embrace is committed to providing world-class care and a remarkable orthodontic experience. Choose between custom Light Force braces or Invisalign clear aligners with locations in Pine City, Lindstrom, and Cambridge, and a plan to fit your budget, whether you have insurance or not. Embrace Orthodontics will make your smile journey comfortable, convenient, and customized just for you. Visit EmbraceMN.com today to find out how to set up your free exam. EmbraceMN.com. Embrace Orthodontics. A smile you will embrace forever.
AOML. BRB. B4N.
Period 02.
BF.
143.
AAK.
1 a.m.
Apostrophe S apostrophe.
These are two teenage girls texting each other, and we have no idea what they're saying either. Maybe the WCMP deals guy can translate.
This week, grab $10 tickets to the Duluth Sports Show. Grilling seminars from Mad Dog and Merrill. Dexter the dog that learned to walk like a human, and more. Only $10.
No, I don't think that's what they were saying at all. But find these and other great deals at WCMPradio.com/deals. WCMPradio.com/deals. OMG, TTYL. Money sign, heart emoji.
Everyone knows there are great places to play in northwestern Wisconsin, but did you know there are great places to work? Burnett Dairy Cooperative is just outside of Grantsburg, Wisconsin, and offers numerous career options with a wide variety of responsibilities, schedules, and growth opportunities. Some positions may include CDL driver, cheese production, and seasonal workers. Burnett Dairy Cooperative has competitive wages, 401k, profit sharing, and many other great benefits. Be part of our herd. Visit BurnettDairy.com and click on Careers.
Embrace Orthodontics offers a unique specialized approach to orthodontic treatment with custom braces or Invisalign. The team at Embrace loves getting to know their patients personally and takes the time to make sure all your questions are answered. Their board-certified orthodontists use only the latest in modern technology to give you the best outcome possible. They work with your insurance company and offer flexible financing options to fit your budget. Call today to set up your free exam and see how Embrace Orthodontics can transform your smile. More online at EmbraceMN.com. That's EmbraceMN.com.
This can be the loneliest sound, and it's never the right time. Car in the ditch, you standing by the side of the road. Thank goodness Hinckley Towing is on the way. 24-hour service, experienced drivers, and state-of-the-art trucks. Put their number in your phone before you need it. Hinckley Towing, 320-385-4049. 320-385-4049.
AOML.
BRB.
B4N.
Period 02.
BF.
143.
AAK.
1 a.m.
Apostrophe S apostrophe.
These are two teenage girls texting each other, and we have no idea what they're saying either. Maybe the WCMP deals guy can translate.
This week, grab $10 tickets to the Duluth Sports Show. Fishing seminars, hundreds of exhibitors. You can even get your deer scored. All for only $10.
No, I don't think that's what they were saying at all. But find these and other great deals at WCMPradio.com/deals. WCMPradio.com/deals. OMG, TTYL. Money sign, heart emoji.
Introducing the Red Runner 2017 Deluxe Firewood Processor. This Canadian-assembled, all-in-one, towable firewood solutions capable of producing 3 face cords per hour. The Red Runner comes equipped with a powerful 18-inch Oregon chainsaw bar, 10-foot-long adjustable conveyor, 2, 4, or even 6-way adjustable splitter head. Fits logs up to 12 feet long and 16 inches in diameter. This high-performance personal firewood processor is powered by a Honda GX390 industrial engine, found only at Stan's Equipment Center in Pine City.
Dale's Heating and Appliance, your local heating and appliance expert, is committed to making your family's comfort their top priority. And now you can add water softeners to their list of expertise. Dale's now offers water softener sales or rentals along with installation, service, and salt delivery. So if your home needs quality water, make the call to your already trusted experts at Dale's, or just visit dalesheatingandappliance.com. dalesheatingandappliance.com.
Hey, you looking for a reliable propane supplier? Look no further than Burnett Dairy Propane. Proud to serve you, providing top-notch propane services all year round, offering convenient delivery options and flexible payment plans that suit your schedule and budget. Trust the experts in the field, Burnett Dairy Propane. Call them today at 715-689-1032 or visit them online at burnettdairy.com. Burnett Dairy Propane, your dependable propane partner.
The saga continues. We now know with certainty that Kidney Stone will return for Season 5, Part 2, its final episodes, in November 2024. The same love story.
No one messes with my girl.
Oh, Bip, I love you.
Trying to save the ranch.
It's got the best pull shed in Kanabec County.
And of course,
This week, get a $25 gift card to Doc's Sports Bar and Grill in Sturgeon Lake. Almost half off. Or you're going to the train station.
Let's take him to the train station.
WCMPradio.com/deals. WCMPradio.com/deals. Save now, but wait to watch what used to be your favorite show and everybody was talking about it, and now it's kind of lost its momentum.
A&W Restaurant Pine City is still making fresh root beer, that signature item since 1919. It's still made fresh and on-site with real cane sugar and a blend of secret ingredients. It doesn't get any better than this. Their world-renowned A&W root beer is a classic treat, and they can top it off with creamy vanilla soft serve to be known as the famous A&W root beer float. Now that's smooth, tasty, and refreshing. An American iconic A&W root beer float. It never tasted so good. A&W Restaurant Pine City. Come grab your root beer float today.
Aw, man. Hinckley Collision.
Hell no. My new car?
Hinckley Collision is the right decision. Fender benders, major accident damage, or hail damage. Hinckley Collision is the right decision. With 24/7 towing and fast, friendly, professional service, their collision department will get you back on the road in no time. With decades of experience dealing with insurance carriers, make the call today. 320-384-7002. 320-384-7002.
Resetting your password, unsubscribing from emails, printing anything. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with an auto owner's insurance independent agent, getting the right coverage for your business doesn't have to be one of them, so you can get back to more important things, like learning how that printer works. That's simple human sense.
Contact your local auto owner's agency, Pine Insurance Agency, at pineagency.us today.
Most days, I don't know what to do with myself.
I try to be the strong one for my buddies, but I don't know if I'm going to make it through the week.
He has night terrors about it.
The lack of fresh powder for snowmobile season can be devastating, but taking your mind off the subject can help.
This week, get a Whitney's Country Cafe $15 certificate for only $7.50. Wow, that's half off.
Visit WCMPradio.com/deals to help take your mind away from just pinning it or hitting your favorite curve before the ditch. WCMPradio.com/deals. Hang in there, buddy.
And we're getting set to get back here to action in this second half where the Dragons lead at halftime 48-22. Quick first half stats for you from the first half for the Raiders. Leading the way was Eric Harrington with 6 points. They had 20 turnovers, though. They'll look to correct that. And then they also went 3 of 3 from the free throw line and only 3 team fouls. Leading the way on the other side for the Dragons, A.J. Austinson with 14. 12, though, for Charlie Osmus. Those two in double digits. They were 50% from the free throw line, 3 of 6. And they only had 4 team fouls, and they took away the ball 14 times on steals. So a very, very impressive first half for the Pine City Dragons. And they'll look to continue that here in the second. I think it's a confidence thing. I think they just have the utmost confidence as they'll take the ball and have it here to begin the start of the second half. McDaniel will take a shot from 3. That's going to be off the mark, and Eric Peterson will grab the rebound. As we are back into the second half action on that Brace Orthodontics scoreboard. Brace Orthodontics, holy cow! Nearly an NBA 3 there from Eric Peterson for his first points on the night. That's one way to get yourself going. Brace Orthodontics scoreboard now reads 48-25. The team at Embrace believes the results of a remarkable orthodontic experience should last a lifetime. They'll keep your smile transformation where it needs to be with a lifelong retention program at EmbraceMen.com. Meanwhile, while I was talking about the Embrace Orthodontic scoreboard, Charlie Osmus comes back with yet another 3 to make it 51-25. And we're only not even a minute into the second half. Meanwhile, these two teams do switch sides. Apparently my English is losing me here in the second half, but Mille Lacs will go right to, or how do you do that? Yeah, right to left on your radio dial, and the Dragons left to right. Peterson, a 3 again from NBA range, is no good. Wesley Gabeau got the rebound, but then it's no good again, and rebounded here by Briar Willard. And Briar Willard going to draw the foul. And looked like Peterson may have gotten hit in the chin by a shoe as those two players tumbled. Josiah Mueller going to be the guilty Mille Lacs Raider. But everyone's up and okay. So the Dragons will inbound it into the backcourt for Austinson. He'll look to get a screen from McDaniel, and then he'll get it past the timeline. Give it over to Osmus. Osmus into the corner for Willard. Willard dishes it back to Austinson on the far side. He's guarded well by Harrington, making 2 defenders miss as he drives inside and lays that one off the glass for 2. That's A.J. Austinson with some nifty moves. Get that one dropped in, 53-25. Here come the Raiders. It's Mueller over to Harrington. Harrington hit 2 threes. He gives it back. Now to Schleiss. Schleiss over to Peterson. Now to Harrington. Fakes the 3. Driving. Lost control of the ball a little bit. Poked away and stolen by Briar Willard. Underneath the basket. Beautiful pass from Willard to McDaniel. And he drops it in for 2. Raiders have it back. Harrington wanted the 3, but McDaniel was right in his face, so he had to pull it down. Now ball into Schleiss, and Schleiss, he could have had an easy layup the other way if he went with his left hand, but went with the right hand because he knew he was going to get that foul call. So he draws the foul, and it should be 2. Matt Blake with the foul. It should... Oh, they're going to say the foul was on the floor, so... No shots here. And Peterson will get the ball inbounded to him. Over to Schleiss, now to Harrington. Harrington, leap pass over to Peterson. Now inside to Mueller. Mueller back outside to Peterson. Near side Harrington. Harrington, 3, off the mark. Rebounded, though, by Mueller. Back out to Peterson. Peterson near side for Harrington. Harrington wanted to go one way, then couldn't figure out which way he wanted to go with it. So he pulls it down, gives it over to Schleiss, and Schleiss drives baseline. He's fouled. That'll go against Briar Willard with his second, and the team's second of this half. Mueller will inbound far side to Eric Peterson for 3. It's too long, and it falls in the hands of Harrington for the rebound. A 3 from Mueller's no good. And Wesley Gabeau tries to get the rebound, but Matt Blake got a hand on it as it went out of bounds, so it stays with the Raiders. 15:09 on that scoreboard. Inbound to Harrington, and Austinson will knock it out of bounds. Trying to grab the steal. He knew exactly where that pass was going and almost got it, but knocks it out of bounds, so it stays with the Raiders. Raiders getting another chance at it here. Inbound to Wesley Gabeau. He hands it back to Schleiss. Now inside to Gabeau, and it's through his hands and stolen by Sawyer McDaniel. McDaniel the other way. Far side for Austinson. 3 off the mark. And Harrington going to grab the rebound for the Raiders. And Peterson for 2, no good. That's Briar Willard with the rebound, and he has it knocked out of his hands. And it will stay with the Dragons. No update as of yet on that Pine City Proctor game. Trying to find any way to get some sort of update on it. When I find out any sort of update, I will, of course, let you know. Pass inside to Larson or Fromm. Could not really tell who that ball was going to, but it will not be to anyone, really. So the ball will be turned over and go back to the Raiders. Meanwhile, only 4 turnovers by the Dragons there in that first half. As Eric Harrington gets the pass from Peterson inside to Gabo. Gabo shot up, no good. A little too little on that one, and then he misses on his rebound, and Grant Larson grabs that one, and he's fouled. And then the foul there on Honick. Team's second. I will continue to search for an update from that Pine City Proctor game. But while we're hearing this one, Grant Larson delivers it to Austin Wiener on the far side. The shot is up and no good, and Eli Fromm will bring in the rebound. Milliman has it. Milliman wanted to go back to Wiener. Instead gives it inside to Fromm. 3 from Larson's going to be no good. But Milliman right there to grab the rebound and drop it in for 2. Daniel Milliman, his first points on the game. Here come the Raiders. With it on that far side is Honick. And that ball will go out of bounds. Last touch by the Dragons, and Raiders will hold on to it. Raiders look to inbound. They're going to have to inbound it soon. They do. On the near side to Gabe Gabo. Now Harrington has it on the near side, and he hits a 3. Make it 57-27. Up the court comes Daniel Milliman. Milliman is out on the far side to Austin Wiener. No good on the 3. Eli Fromm picks up the rebound. Fromm gives it to Milliman. Milliman, top of the key. Now over to Wiener. Now to Fromm. Fromm, a high arcing 3 is no good. And a battle amongst teammates for the rebound. It will go out of bounds, so we'll go back to the Raiders. Well, I see Pine Island, but not Pine City. Again, ladies and gentlemen, I am searching for some sort of update. There we go. See if I can't find it here. 57-27 with 12 and a half to go on that Embrace Orthodontics scoreboard. We get a foul here on the Raiders. Looks like it's going to be a legal screen as Gabe Gabo going to be called for the foul. No update there, so continue to look. Inbound here to Eli Fromm as he's in the front court. Jace Peterson has it now. He hands it off to Milliman, who gives it back to Fromm. Fromm trying to drive inside, and they're going to get him for a travel. So that will give the ball back to the Raiders. So a turnover there for Pine City. It's their second of the half. 2 for each now. Gabe Gabo with it, trying to go inside to Ryan Smith, but it's well over his reach, and the ball will go back to Pine City. That'll be their third turnover of the half. Pine City will inbound. A little bit of full court pressure here by the Raiders, and Eli Fromm has it. Stops inside, gives it back outside to Larson. Larson for 3 is good. Grant Larson, his first points on the board come from long range. Back with it. The Raiders going inside. Gabe Gabo, he lost it, but he's fouled, and he'll go to the line and shoot 2. We're going to get Austin Wiener on the foul. His first, team's third, as Gabe Gabo is at the line for 2. That one is up and no good from Gabe Gabo. Believe it or not, that's our first missed free throw on the night. That one's no good as well, and Austin Wiener gets the rebound. Fromm gets the pass, top of the key, back to Wiener for three, and that's good. Austin Wiener for three. And back out, to number 30, who's into the game for the first time. And we're going to get a jump ball. Possession, I believe, favors the Raiders. But number 30 is going to be Josh Nicoboyne. I apologize if I'm botching that last name. I really don't mean to. So he's in the game for the first time, and this ball is tipped. Going to be stolen away by A.J. Austinson. And he'll give it back to Briar Willard. Now back to Austinson on the near side. Trying to find a lane inside. Drives. Shot is up. No good. Ryan Smith there for the rebound for the Raiders. Grabs his third, and he gives it to Mueller. Now on the near side to Nick, and he tries to go inside. That's going to be stolen away by Matt Blake. My goodness, he is on a tear tonight with the steals. Willard gives it off on the near side to Austinson. Austinson looks, nearly traveled with it, but he would deliver it on the far side to Briar Willard for three. His second of the game. And the Raiders have it back. Trying to get their offense rolling. And Gabe Gabeau has it in some trouble. He'll give it back now to Gabe Honick on the far side now for Josh Nicoboyne. No good. Rebounded McDaniel. McDaniel inside. Throws it towards the basket. It's no good. Matt Blake there for the rebound. It's no good. Charlie Osmus with the rebound and drops it in for two. Raiders have it again. On the far side with it is not Mueller. Instead, that's Honick. Honick lost it. Gets it back. He'll just throw it towards the basket. It's no good. Rebounded by Briar Willard. Quickly up the court to A.J. Austinson. And Austinson delivers it for two. Well, the Raiders have it back, trying to get something going on offense, and Honick has it, and as he got it, he had to hold it on the baseline and then threw it back in, but it was stolen by Sawyer McDaniel. And now a substitution, two new guys in for the Raiders, their first time in, number 4 and 11. Number 4 is Isaiah Burr. Wesley Harrington, number 11, and I believe that three was from Charlie Osmus. 73-27. Now with Isaiah Burr, and a three there is no good. Rebounded by Sawyer McDaniel. Again, 11 is Wesley Harrington. That ball knocked out of bounds, and it will go back to the Raiders. 8:34 to go and counting as that clock will roll. With it now is Honick. He'll give it near side. Eric Harrington looking, goes inside to Gabeau. Wesley Gabeau, shot up, no good, but they're going to get a foul here on Pine City. And that'll send him to the line for two. They're going to get Austin Wiener on that foul, his second, and the team's fourth. But again, Wesley Gabeau at the line to shoot two. First one is up, and no good. So again, because the deficit is larger than 35, the clock will continue to roll. Gabo, no good on both, and it was rebounded there by Jace Peterson. Up to Milliman. Milliman stops as he gets inside the perimeter, gives it back outside to Wiener. Austin Wiener, little floater is no good, and that's Wesley Gabo on the rebound. With it up the court's Honick, and he had it poked out, stolen away by Eli Fromm. And to the basket, Jace Peterson drops it in for two. 75-27 on the near side for Harrington. That's Wesley Harrington. Inside to Wesley Gabo, who puts up a shot. It's no good. It's Austin Wiener with the rebound. He slows it down, gives it to Milliman. Milliman up the court. Looking, gives it back to Larson. Larson for three. It's good. Grant Larson with the three. Far side, Eric Harrington has it, trying to get around Eli Fromm. Back out top of the key for Wesley Harrington. And he'll pull up a long two is good for Wesley Harrington. Wesley Harrington, only a freshman for the Raiders. Good looking shot there from him. Austin Wiener gets the pass from Larson. It went through his hands, but he was able to get it back before the defender got it. Now Jace Peterson, he looks to drive inside. Shot is up, no good. Wesley Harrington with the rebound. And Harrington drives inside. Wesley Harrington drops it in for two. Nice little move there. Toe drag a little bit. 78-31. Jace Peterson back the other way. And Wesley Harrington all over the place now. Gets a steal. So Wesley Harrington turning it on as he gives it to Honick on the far side. And nearly stolen away. Daniel Milliman got it on the baseline but stepped out of bounds. And checking in again for the first time here tonight, number 5, Jacob Scheck, a sophomore, number 5. For the Raiders. Meanwhile, that's Isaiah Burr for three, no good. And rebounded by Eli Fromm. Now Larson brings it up the court for the Dragons. Over to Wiener in the near side corner for Jace Peterson. That's no good, but Austin Wiener quickly gets the rebound, and we're about to see the JV players get into the game for the Dragons. As right there trying to get the drive was Harrington, but no good, and he lost it, but Raiders hold on to it, and now a rebound there for Eli Fromm. Milliman, and it's stolen away by Gabe Honick. Honick driving, shot no good. Rebounded by Eli Fromm. And we will see those younger guys check in. So we'll get the numbers as we see them. 2, 14, 20, as well as 32 and 41. And of course, number 2 is going to be Grant Sklozacek. A steal here. And then losing it, Isaiah Burr got the steal for the Raiders, and then unfortunately lost it. And unfortunately, he, with the slip, got hurt a little bit, so hopefully he's okay. And Tanner Fix into the game as well. And we'll get a timeout called here by Pine City. That'll give me a chance to catch up. Also number 20, Samuel Johnson. 32 is Damian Lord. And 41, of course, is Ashton Moore. So those are the new guys in, the JV players checking in. Again, only a 30-second timeout there by the Dragons. And we're back to action. 80-31, Dragons with the lead, and out of the timeout, they inbound here to Tanner Fix. Fix will give it over to Johnson. Now back to Fix. Fix gives it up to Johnson. Johnson looking, he's guarded well. Now gives it on the far side there to Grant Sklozacek. On the near side here, Tanner Fix for three, no good. And rebound up for grabs. Ashton Moore can't grab it. It's going to be Jacob Scheck for the Raiders who picks it up. Gives it to Honick. Honick finds a lane to the basket. No good, and Tanner Fix will get the rebound for Pine City. Fix slows it down, gives it to Grant Sklizacek. And that ball was tipped, and no, not going to be stolen away. It should have been stolen away by Honick, but great hustle there by Tanner Fix to grab it back. Now inside to Johnson, a three from Tanner Fix. Oh, and it's no good. But Damian Lord right there for the rebound and the putback for two. Far side three for Jacob Scheck. That's going to be off the side of the rim, no good. Ashton Moore will just let that one go out of bounds. And Mueller will check in for Honick. So the Dragons get it back. 82-31 they lead. And getting to the end of this one as Pine City well on their way to their 5th win on the season. Johnson back and forth between him and Fix. Fix has it now. Fix gives it off near side to Damian Lord. Now inside to Johnson. Johnson, a lob shot, no good. And pulling the rebound down is Ashton Moore. That shot going to be rebounded by Lord. He gives it to Fix. Back over to Lord. Lord for three. Damian Lord, no good on the shot. And rebound up for grabs. Grant Sklizacek going to come up with it. Gives it over to Lord. Damian Lord trying to drive inside. Picks up his dribble, gives it to Fix. Now over to Damian Lord, trying to go inside to Johnson, but it's stolen away by Scheck. Top of the key here for Eric Harrington, driving inside and dropping that one in for two is Wesley Harrington. He's got 6 points, and we'll see a substitution here as 42 Colson Berglund checks into the game. You can hear the cheer for him as he checks in. So Colson Berglund in the game for Pine City, wearing number 42. Tanner Fix looks, he gives it to Ashton Moore on the near side for three. Off the backboard, no good. Oh, and Berglund couldn't hold on to it, and it's knocked out of bounds by a member of the Dragons. So Berglund into the game for the Dragons, and under 2 minutes to go now. Wesley Harrington brings up the court for the Raiders. He's got 6 points here in only a couple minutes on the court. Eric Harrington for three, no good. Ashton Moore with the rebound. Gives it up to Sam Johnson. Drifts far side, gives it to Sklizacek. Now in the near side corner for Johnson. Berglund. Berglund has it, looks, gives it back outside for three. That's no good from Sklizacek, and the rebound there by Harrington, and we'll get a substitution. And now the Raiders will get two guys checked in. Number 20, which is, oh my goodness, I don't have him on my roster. I apologize. And number 32, maybe they're on the JV roster. Let's see. So I do not see it, but I do not see either. Interesting. I don't have either number on my roster sheet. I apologize. Shot is up, no good there. By number 20, the unnamed man on the roster. It's back out to Harrington, who gets his own rebound. Now gives it back out to Scheck for three. That's no good. Rebounded again by Harrington. 32 has it, fakes the shot. Gives it on the far side to 20. And 20 along two is no good. Falls into the hands of Samuel Johnson. With under a minute to go, Tanner Fix has it. Fix trying to get around the defender. He does. Gets into the front court, gives it over to Sam Johnson. Johnson inside to Moore. Moore trying to back his way in. Shot is up, no good. And Scheck with the rebound. Under 40 seconds to go now. 82-33. Driving inside, shot no good. And Berglund will get the rebound. Tanner Fix up the court. Shot clock is off. Berglund almost lost it, but he holds on to it. That pass was tipped and stolen away by the Raiders. And the shot there, no good. Ashton Moore couldn't quite hold on to the rebound. And it will stay with the Raiders, and that will do it. Here in this one, the Dragons are going to get their 5th win on the season. A shot there is no good. Berglund with the rebound, and that will do it. The Dragons get the victory here tonight over the Raiders, 82-33. We're going to take a commercial break. Hear a word from our fine sponsors, then we'll be back. Hear a word from our sponsors, then we'll have our MVP. I'm hearing the MVP chants, but player of the game and coach interview.
Hockey practice, running a business. Heck, just enjoying your life, you've got better things to do. Let Jeff's Outdoor Services handle your lawn care and landscaping. Your home, your cabin, your business, they got you covered. They've been doing it since 1995, and they're good at it. Call today. Jeff's Outdoor Services. You do your thing, and they'll do theirs.
Hi, Rob.
Hey, why have you been so happy lately?
It's because I no longer pay for hot water.
What? You have 4 teenagers that take all-day showers. How do you not pay for hot water?
Well, I put in a central boiler outdoor furnace that heats my house, my garage, and now I have virtually endless free hot water.
Wow, that's great. With my 10 kids, I'll really save some money. Where do I get a furnace?
Check with your local central boiler dealer, of course.
Northland Boiler Sales, your local central boiler sales dealer. Visit northlandboilersales.com.
Arrowhead Transit plays a pivotal role in bolstering the communities it serves. By providing accessible and reliable transportation, they ensure essential travel for work, education, and healthcare. Arrowhead Transit is customer-centric, continuously evolving to meet the needs of the community with initiatives like community outreach programs, job fairs, and educational workshops, and more. Arrowhead Transit is more than just a transportation service. It is a vital part of the communities it supports. Your connection, your community. Arrowhead Transit. Your ride.
Back here on WCMP 106.5 FM, AM 1350. We're now joined by the lone senior, the player of the game once again. That is Matthew Blake. And first of all, this was a nice win at home.
Yeah, it was. It felt good.
And you guys get 80 points on the board. I haven't seen a lot of 80s here this season for you guys, but it feels like this team had a bunch of confidence here in this game.
Yeah, it all comes back to rebounding and for those second opportunities. You know, we had a good stretch a couple of times. We just kept getting rebound after rebound, and just led to more shots and more points.
You guys were able to take the ball away a bunch here in this game. I did not quite get a count, but close to 30 turnovers here in this one that you guys took the ball away. You had 7 of them on steals. What was it like being on defense here in this one? Was it part of the confidence, or was it just you seeing the ball really well?
Yeah, definitely confidence plays into it, but it's a lot of just good team energy. It means everyone's got to scramble, know where their guy is, and just good teamwork all together so you know where your guys are so you can help and get that ball.
And you started the week off with the loss against Malacca. Again, it was a game in which it felt like you guys were a little bit better than what the scoreboard shows, but then you come into this one and hold Mille Lacs to 33 points, but then you also put up 82 points. What is it like to be able to see that team come back from a loss like that against Malacca into this game and get a huge win?
Yeah, it means a lot. It just shows that we can stay consistent in what we know, and we just got to rely on what we do, our principles, which is rebounding, defense, and energy, and that leads to the wins.
And now you've got a team tomorrow who you played earlier in the season. It went to overtime. That was a fun game. Unfortunately, it didn't end up the way you guys would have hoped. But again, another 80-point game there for you guys. You guys welcome in Rush City tomorrow night. What are you looking forward to in that one, as it is a rivalry?
Oh, yeah, all the guys are talking about it. They're going to be ready for it, you know. 2 back-to-back games, but I know we're going to be ready for it.
And, of course, this will be the last home game of the season, and sadly the last home game for you this year. What does it mean for you to be going into that game knowing that it's going to be the last home game?
It just means a lot. It means everything that I've been able to play in this program and with these guys. It's like no other. It just means a lot, especially against a team like Rush. It's going to be a great game.
You got any encouraging words you're telling the guys for tomorrow night?
Just play hard.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Matt, for joining us, and good luck tomorrow night.
Thank you.
That, again, was Matthew Blake, our player of the game. The lone senior on this squad for the Pine City Dragons, as we'll now be joined by the Dragons head coach, Kyle Allen. And Coach Allen, tonight, it just looked like this team was a much different team. The confidence in this team looked like it was just all there tonight.
Yeah, you know, it's and again, it's tough because you make a few shots in the beginning. You know, Charlie, I think, hits his first 3, and you know, you gain a lot of comments from that, and again, that's wonderful, that's awesome, that's you know, you never turn it down, but we got to find a way to not derive our energy from that, and again, I thought we did lock in as the game went on, and they started to feel success from the defensive end, and they started to feel success from the rebounds. And again, if we can find a way to derive our energy from those, and again, not taking away anything from Chuck, we shot the ball well tonight. It's awesome, but we want that to be deriving from the things that we can control. Because again, and I've said it a million times, no kid ever goes in and purposely misses a shot. you always want to make your shots, and it feels great when you make them. But we can't control that, and we can control the defense and our energy and our excitement and taking charges and denying passes out and doubling ball screens and rebounding the heck out of the ball, and that's what makes it fun. And so again, I'm hoping that this group felt that energy deriving from those spots and help guide them to a little bit more consistency tonight in what we try to execute.
And this defense was able to take the ball away a bunch here in this game. Talk about this team's ability to take the ball away, and not only that, turn those turnover takeaways into points.
Yeah, and I thought, Matt Blake, again, just sliding to that help side. He was just there all night long. I think he had the ball, he had his hands on the ball all the time on defense, and it was just being in the right spot. And again, and I think I said this a few weeks ago, we're 20-some games in, and again, the process of being able to consistently execute the principles that we're trying to do is what we're striving for. And again, Matt Blake has given these juniors, these guys that are playing, a phenomenal gift of a grace period. As they are mostly all brand new varsity players together, and the hope is that we are going to grow and learn and be able to execute those principles on a consistent basis. But as we unfortunately, you can't keep Matt Blake. I wish I could, but you eventually lose him. And as this group of juniors become seniors, the expectation is that they are expected to go out and perform and execute our principles consistently without the grace period. So again, giving them that opportunity this year to really hone in, and giving us as a coaching staff the opportunity to really start from a ground zero perspective and building up. The hope is that as the season progressed, we would consistently show our principles more and more, and the goal is to continue to build on that and give them the opportunity to try to do so. But again, as the clock turns over, the expectation is that they will be able to perform.
And you were able to get 6 of those JV guys here into the game. What was it like to see those guys jump into the game and take over the game plan?
Yeah, and it's great because everything we do from kindergarten through varsity is scaffolded to build up into your varsity year. So again, what we're teaching at the 3rd through 6th grade in youth hoops, what we're teaching at 7th and 8th grade, all builds off of each other. So one of the best things about our program is, in the summer we'll play a game and we'll have kids from 3-4 different grade levels all playing in a game together, but they all have the same understanding, same terminology, same concepts, and so they're able to go out and do that and execute together. And so we want the next group to always be able to come in, and again, it's the success is about how do you execute the principles. The process leads to the success, and if we can get more and more guys bought into that and understanding how important the process of what it is, that will hopefully again push it forward. And so just like ever before in all of sports history in high school, the next group is always given an opportunity to start to get that process of that grace period. And so again, Matt Blake giving that grace period to this juniors this year is phenomenal, but there'll always be another group coming. It's hopefully a never-ending process.
And now we shift the focus to Rush City tomorrow night. You guys had an exciting game the first time meeting up with them. Unfortunately, went into overtime, ended not in your favor. But this time around, it's in the Dragons' house. What are you looking forward to in that game, and what would you like to see from your team, whether it's early on throughout the entirety of that one?
Yeah, I think, and again, it always comes back to, the defensive end. Are we in the right spot? Are we executing the principles? Are we rebounding the basketball? And just the execution of that. We talk all the time, it's about defense, rebounding, and execution, and if we can go out and do those things, effort, energy, execution, defense, rebounding, don't turn the ball over. If we can do those things consistently, we are going to be in more games than we're not. And once we have those principles in place consistently, then you can start to do the everything else. But you can't do the everything else until you have that foundation in place. And so again, I'm going to say it until I'm blue in the face. Matt Blake giving these boys that grace period of year to work on that foundation will not go unnoticed. And again, sacrificing today for tomorrow, and appreciative of all his leadership and everything he's done for this program this year has been noteworthy and second to none.
And, of course, it is the final home game of this season. What is the message to the players knowing that it is the final home game, and especially to Matt Blake because he, once again, the lone senior on this team?
Yeah, it's the process. I mean, the process never ends. You never graduate out of the program. you're always a part of it. We have alumni here tonight. We have alumni popping in all the time, constantly in communication with them, and the relationship just changes and it grows differently with the alumni from a coach and player standpoint. And so it's just a process that we want to continue to evolve, and a process that continues to move itself forward. You're always going to graduate seniors. You're always going to have a next group coming. And the goal is to just make sure that the process takes care of itself so the system can continue.
Well, Coach, I appreciate you so much for joining me here in the post game, and of course, good luck tomorrow night.
Appreciate you guys. Thank you for all you do. We'll see you guys tomorrow night.
That again is head coach Kyle Allen of the Pine City Dragons. Appreciate him joining us here in the post game. We also heard from our player of the game, Matt Blake, the lone senior on this team. And yeah, it's been a fun process to watch this team throughout the season. It hasn't been easy by any stretch of the imagination. And again, it's a building year for this team. This team, again, Matt Blake, you hear Coach Allen talk about him a bunch. He's willing to take basically his senior year, not necessarily give it up. I don't think he would say he was giving it up either, but taking a year to go and say, hey guys, I will give my senior year to help you build for the future, and that is Matt Blake. I mean, that is Matt Blake to a T. He's just unselfish. He wants to do what's best for the team, no matter what it is, no matter if he's out on the court or if he needs to be a coach on the bench, whatever it is. He just does his job, and it's so fun to watch, so fun to be able to see him do what he does. Taking a look at the stats here tonight in this one, for the Mille Lacs Raiders, leading the way for them with 9 points was Eric Harrington, and then 6 from Wesley Harrington. They were led in rebounds by Wesley Gabeau and Eric Harrington, each with 5. They were 3 of 7 from the free throw line, perfect in the first half, 3 of 3, but then 0 of 4 in half number 2. They had 7 steals, 2 in the first, 5 in the second, and 6 total team fouls, 3 in each half. They also had 30 turnovers in the game. For Pine City in this one, leading the way for them was Charlie Osmus with 20, 18 from A.J. Austinson, and then he had 8 from both Briar Willard and Jace Peterson. Rebound-wise, leading the way was Briar Willard with 7. They didn't shoot a free throw here in the second half, so they finished a 50% mark at 3 and 6. They also had 20 steals, 14 in the first half, 6 in the second. 7 of those came from the lone senior, Matt Blake. They also only had 4 fouls in each half for a total of 8 in the game. Let me tell you guys, this was a complete game from Pine City. So nice to see the younger guys get into the game as well. Grant Sklazacek, Tanner Fix, Samuel Johnson, Damian Lord, Ashton Moore, and Colson Berglund all got into the game. And each of them has a stat mark even. Whether it's a rebound or points, they each got something on the stat sheet tonight, and that doesn't matter. That's not what it's about. It's about getting that time and learning, like you heard Coach Allen say, but it's just pretty cool to see that they each got something on the stat sheet here tonight, and that'll be something when they look back and they're maybe starting next year, or they've got more minutes next year, and they go, hey, now I know what to do. I know how to get some stats on the board in a game. So for the Dragons, they win this one 82-33. They only allowed 11 second half points. Yes, 11 second half points. They also only turned the ball over 11 times, 4 in the first half, 7 here in the second. Of course, I want to thank all of you for tuning in here tonight. Thank all the fine sponsors. Of course, if you're watching this game on our YouTube, be sure to like and subscribe to our YouTube. And if you're on our YouTube right now, just go ahead and click that red subscribe button. That way, anytime that we go live with a local sporting event, you'll be notified. All you have to do is pull down the notification, click on it. It will take you right to the live video. Of course, don't forget to stay tuned to the morning shows over on this channel and on 95.5 FM with Rock and Robin Riley at 7:30 and 8:30. Then over on 100.9 FM, not this channel, 100.9 FM with Joshua Miron at 7:45 and 8:45. That's when you can catch your local sports updates. We'll talk about this game and all the other local games going on in our listening area. Plus, we'll talk regional sports and national sports as well. Also, be sure to stay tuned to our websites at WCMPradio.com and KBEK.com for all things local sports. You'll get game recaps there, and our schedule's up on there of the games that we'll be covering this week. Go to the sports tab once you are on WCMPradio.com. Go to the sports tab, click on schedule, broadcast schedule. That will have the links for the game that we are covering this week. So be sure to stay tuned to that, because that is subject to change sometimes, just because games get canceled, games get moved, time gets moved, guys get sick. It's everything, so be sure to stay tuned to that. Of course, follow our social medias. Go like, follow, subscribe, whatever it is, our social medias. WCMP Radio's Facebook, KBEK's Facebook, and our Twitter at WCMP Radio for all things local sports, whether it's LOI signings, schedule changes, coaches leaving, coaches hired, player records, player LOI signings. We'll have it all on our social medias, as well as we're now at playoff time, state tournament bound teams, as well as coaches interviews as well. Don't forget, we have coaches interviews on our websites too. So again, the final here in this one, the Dragons get the victory. Get a big victory too over the Mille Lacs Raiders, 82-33. Again, the first time they played, they only beat them by 10. They come back here in this one. I think they had something to prove in this game. I think they were looking at this game and said, you know what, we are not going to allow it to be that close this time. And this is also our second to last home game of the year. We need to do something to make a statement, and they certainly do here. So, getting hot at the right time, maybe? I think so. But again, the Dragons do get the victory over the Mille Lacs Raiders, 82-33. And again, they got those JV players in there. Don't forget, tomorrow night, we'll have more coming your way right on this very channel. Pine City will host Rush City in a rematch from earlier in the season. That should be a fun one. I encourage you to tune into that one. I also encourage you to tune in to 95.5 FM KBEK, where Andy Beckstrom will have the call of Mora hosting Bram tomorrow night. That should also be a pretty fun game between those two teams. Both those teams having a good year. That should be a good game over in Bram for Andy, or Mora for Andy Beckstrom. Up in Hinckley Finlayson right now, and Adam Hefty calling the game between Hinckley Finlayson and Bram. I'm sure that one's a good one as well, so be sure to tune on over to 100.9 FM. Adam Hefty's game is still going on, so be sure to tune in over there and see how that one's going. But again, the final here in this one, the Dragons get the victory over the Mille Lacs Raiders, 82-33. For WCMP, I am Ethan Game Day Gillen. Have a great rest of your night. I'm Ethan Game Day Gillen. Have a great rest of your night.